How did this get here?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Well, good evening. It's Wednesday night. What does that mean? It's happening.
Oh.
And we have Chef Josie, a.k.a. DJ Snack Daddy.
Lady Snack Daddy.
Lady Snack Daddy, thank you. Going to be playing Friday at the big Halloween party.
The Halloween extravaganza.
Hosted by Faye. What?
Yes.
And organized by Tony Lima.
Oh my God.
Big shout out to Kitty Meow that will be hosting as well.
Then we have John Hayden.
He's here.
He's here.
He's queer.
Mr.
And he's not
SFPN.
going
It's going to be a
anywhere.
fun show. And here we go. Well, good evening, South Florida, and welcome to It's Happening Out, the world's most popular live gay television talk show. Can you believe we can say that? We can. It's 9 p.m. Wednesday, October 27th, and I'm your anchor, Al Ferguson. Let's start by meeting tonight's host. First up, let's welcome Faye. What? She is a radio and television personality and has popular blogs and a YouTube channel aiming to unite the L and the G together. And she is the mistress of the dark Friday night for the Pride Fort Lauderdale Halloween party at Dakota. Welcome, Faye.
Hi, did you just out me?
I did.
Did you really just tell everybody what my Halloween costume is going to be?
Yeah.
Oye, viejo sucio. How could you do that?
There are people laughing here in the studio, and I have no idea.
Mariconería con este. ¿Cómo va a ser que le va a decir al mundo entero que me va a poner yo el viernes?
Dirty old man.
Really? All right.
Hi, folks. Happy to be here.
Okay, all right. So now it's officially on. All right, fine. It's all coming back. Next up, let's welcome. Wait, I don't even barely recognize that name. I haven't seen it in so long.
That's Tony.
Tony Lima. Wow. He's a longtime South Florida LGBTQ advocate. He is the coordinator with Pride Fort Lauderdale of this Friday's Halloween party. And oh, by the way, I don't know if you've heard, he has a new job.
Whoop,
He's
whoop.
the new CEO of SunServe.
Yay!
Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Al. Thank you, my It's Happening Out family. I'm so excited to be back. I will be back more and more, I promise. But for now, I need you to buy tickets to the Halloween extravaganza on Friday.
Extravaganza.
We have some tickets left, so make sure that you come and hang out with me and Faye and Al and DJ
Josie,
Lady
yeah.
Snack Daddy and DJ Kid Madani and Jasmine Price Lords and fire dancers and all sorts of mayhem with a fetish and fantasy theme that you will really enjoy.
Yeah, it sounds fun. And first off, thank you for the call out on your family. But in truth, because we are kind of also a news show, in truth and fairness, you're my illegitimate family. So, and also I have to tell you, I'm coming to the Halloween party, and I'm just throwing it down right now. Just decided today what my costume is going to be.
Oh, what is it?
And I am
You don't want to
going
know.
to. You're not supposed to say you know.
You know?
Oh,
Wait a minute, wait.
Tell us.
Wait. You told Tony and not me?
Yep.
Well, he outed
I am gonna
you
flatten-
and told Tony. I just want to add that.
Thank you, Joe. I'm gonna flatten all your tires. All your
Not mine.
tires.
Tony Lima and Schaefer Zarette, who are the only two people on the planet who know. If anyone finds out, I know where it came from. All right. Well, next up, let's welcome John Hayden. John is general assignment reporter for SFGN, covering events and political developments directly affecting South Florida's LGBTQ plus community. Welcome, John.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
And what are you doing Friday night?
I don't know. There's
Please
like a
say safe.
there's like a.
to the Save Halloween party.
I'm going to the Save Halloween party.
Yes.
I can't wait. No, I can't. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you dress up as.
No, I am not gonna say anything negative. Okay, I love Save, and I hope they have a great Halloween.
Everybody, we're
Wait.
gonna have an
They're
Did
gonna
you
have
just
an-
say you're not going to say anything negative? We're only 4 minutes into the show.
But the truth is, we're all going to be at Pride Fort Lauderdale's Halloween party. So there you go.
Exactly.
Party of five. And wait. Let me do the slam dunk here for Pride Fort Lauderdale. Let's welcome Chef Josie. Woo! Top chef, celebrity, and owner of the wonderful Bubbles and Pearls restaurant right on the heart of Wilton Drive. And it says, welcome, Chef Josie, but I've got to add, she has an AKA alternate personality. That hat says it all. DJ Snack Daddy.
Lady Snack Daddy.
I know. Lady Snack Daddy. Are you doing anything Friday night, or are you sitting at home?
No, listen, guys. I will see you. I will be the one welcoming you into the party. So come prepared for mayhem, terrorizing mayhem, fun terrorizing mayhem, and sexy terrorizing mayhem.
Fantasy too.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be with all my friends and partying for a cause. This is what I'm about. This is what we're doing. And I get to give a shout out to my wife, Marcy, who's going to be holding down the fort at Bubbles and Pearls. So if you're not at the party on Friday night, then you should be at Bubbles and Pearls filling your bellies with some good food.
And I just remind all of my friends at the table, when I walk into the room in my costume, I love all of you. All right.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
Yes, it's going to be fun. All right, so good evening, South Florida. We're the first and most popular live LGBTQ talk show in the world. We're The View with a whole lot more gay people, or maybe not, actually. I'm not sure. So much to talk about. Next on It's Happening Out.
This week on It's Happening Out. Join us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. It all starts right now, live on It's Happening Out.
Well, you are watching a live and unedited LGBTQ talk show. So the landslide of the brick wall that's getting ready to fall on Tony Lima can't be taken back. I'm just telling you in advance. So anything can happen and you'll see it. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and click the bell for updates. And if you're on Facebook, like and share this video. Well, let's begin with the unique meme of the week. We've always, for the last 3 years that It's Happening Out, started our show with a meme, and this week is no different. It's called Showing Up for Halloween as a Haunted Glory Hole. Oh,
That's so fun.
yeah, that's
It probably wouldn't
favorite
work.
movies.
It probably wouldn't work because
That's
it's
Death
a
Becomes Her,
woman.
right?
Yeah,
Becomes
Goldie
Her.
Hawn.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite all-time movies. It's
Death
hilarious.
Becomes Her. Yeah, absolutely.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. Well, It's Happening Out is part of the partnership of the Happening Out Television Network and Hotspots Magazine. And remember, Hotspots is celebrating 36 years of the LGBTQ experience. Together, we bring the best of LGBTQ news, entertainment, and support of our LGBTQ community. And also breaking news. As everybody knows, Tony's host of Translation, the first trans talk show of its kind in the entire world. And we have exciting news that on November 9th, the Faye What Show will launch.
Oh, yay! 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 Why am I always the last to know?
Yes.
I have a show now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I'll be here November 9th.
Yeah.
I'll
Put it
I'll
on
be
my
here.
calendar right
I'm
now.
going to put it. No
right.
doubt. Send me a Google Calendar thing.
After sitting here between these two and hearing the so delicate voices of Chef Josie and Faye What, I need a drink. Who needs a drink?
Yeah, let's
I need
get
a
it.
drink.
Let's play our yes or no game called I'd Swallow That. This has been played ever since the first episode 3 years ago. We invite you to play right at home along with us, and I'm going to ask these hosts 4 questions. If they agree with the question, then they take the shot, and I assure you, generally, this is almost lighter fluid. And if
Smells like
they,
apple.
if they disagree, well, it's going to be a long night, and a long night especially for me. So, everybody ready?
Ready?
Let's play I'd Swallow That. Boy, I'd never heard of this dude until this week. When Boozy Badass collaborated with DaBaby, Lil Nas X made the joke that they had also collaborated. Boozy wasn't happen, and he wasn't happy, and it wasn't happening. Question number 1, I'd swallow that. While RuPaul's Drag Race is known for its Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. All right. So that's not correct. So here's what's happened, and we show you the tweet that took place of what he said to
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas, and Lil Nas's response, which was a slam dunk, basically talked about something completely different and didn't even address him. Did you think that that was the appropriate way to do it?
Absolutely.
I'll swallow that.
I told you this was live, by the way. It's live. All right.
Also, I mean, God bless Lil Nas X. He is marketing himself so well on this album. But if you're going to go trolling, you're going to get trolled back.
For sure.
But also, remember, he used the launch of Montero to raise funds for transgender services throughout the South.
Yes.
One of which was Trans Inclusive right here in Fort Lauderdale, and they got the title track. So
And
they've
Ariana
gotten
Center.
And Ariana Center as
and
well.
Ariana Center, yeah. So
Does anybody remember
kicking ass.
this week what Lil Nas said in the tweet? I'm trying to remember. He completely misdirected it, and it sounded like he was getting ready to slam back.
Like Halloween Town, talk about like they weren't going to give Halloween Town this year or something like that.
Disney
That
Plus,
was yes,
was it?
Yeah, it was
yes.
about Disney.
That
It was about Disney.
That was going to make it a bad day for him.
All right, let's move on. Second question, and I'd swallow that. While RuPaul's Drag Race is known for its talented drag queens, Drag Race Italia got announced this week and got us all excited, some of us even more so than others, by showing us their 4-man pit crew before they reveal the queens. Question number 2. I swallow that. Italia Drag Race brings a new standard worldwide for pit crews. Oh my.
I'll drink
Cheers.
for that.
A new standard? No. I mean, we've been having some great pit crews.
Never
But you
like
think never like this? Did you
Oh,
go measure
not
a
even
part of their body to know that
Tony,
not like this?
You think
You know-
you're the Drag Race aficionado
I
at
know
the table.
that I
which
am the Drag
is
Race
not
aficionado at the
true.
table.
Listen, I'm just drinking for you guys because I know that this creates a new standard for you, Al. And quite frankly, I mean, they're sexy. I mean, Italian boys looking
this
sexy.
one right
Molto
here.
sexy.
You know,
Oh, hi, yeah.
I think it's mostly about this marketing and promotion, like these really sexy photos,
Look at that bulge.
positioning them.
Have you ever seen a pit crew look like this?
I've never seen them positioned like this.
No, well,
listen.
that's not my question.
Sean,
Other-
the mustache guy,
Gigi.
from the original
one-
pit crew,
oh,
was
child.
my favorite and still is my favorite pit crew member of all time.
We probably like Ben Franklin too, but that is so old. that,
Ben Franklin.
Wow.
Wow,
Josie,
Ben.
thank you for pointing.
I was like,
have you? I
No,
asked
not
you.
Tony
You say
Lima.
you're a aficionado. Have you ever seen a collective pit crew like this before?
I think they're all gorgeous, but I think it's also in
These
the
questions are
presentation.
not really hard.
No.
Yes.
No, I think, listen, I think they're comparable. Answer your question,
How
I'll
many
forget.
days have you been at SunServe already?
None. I start
He
Monday.
starts Monday. Yeah.
No,
You're
but I
practicing.
think these guys are gorgeous. Yes. But I don't think they're necessarily more gorgeous than some of the pictures
Thank
of
you.
the past.
Yes, I
I
agree.
just think they're being presented like this. They were announced first to try to get people to look at the show probably in a different way. It's like, check out our pit crew. They're also hot. There's never been this much attention to a pit crew before.
Okay, let me ask you this. Has there been an ugly pit crew person then?
No.
I mean,
I can
No, they're all
give you
beautiful.
At least 10.
Oh, Al.
10.
Ask-
Really?
10. 10.
okay, so
Disney
next on It's Happening Now.
What's going on,
Okay, all right. We got it. All right. Campus Pride. Interesting. They release an annual list of schools that are unsafe for LGBTQ plus students, and they released the list this week. This year, 50 more schools were added, and the list now amounts to 180 schools, colleges, and universities in America that they deem unsafe for our community. Question number 3. I'd swallow that. New survey reveals 180 of the worst colleges that are unsafe for LGBTQ students. Who's number 1? That's Brigham Young
Of course.
University.
Brigham Young. That makes sense.
Well, they're like
So
the
I'm
Mormon
confused,
Notre
what are we
Dame.
drinking to?
We're
'Cause
drinking to, we don't like that there's 180.
You guys don't even need reasons to drink anymore.
Okay.
Just take a shot, all right?
That is-
You know, this story, it really saddens me. 180, that is a lot of colleges that hate our community. You know, it's kind of like, oh, and a lot of them are religiously affiliated. That is the key right
They're
there,
all-
you
they're
know?
all-
I mean,
all of them.
Anybody guess who's
All 180.
number
all of them are.
Notre Dame.
No. Notre Dame is not too bad.
No.
Number 2?
No, sir.
Oh, I'll give you a clue. It's in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Oh, Liberty.
Liberty
Oh, of
University.
course.
course.
How did I forget?
But they've had their own share of scandals
Yeah.
this past year or two, so
They
good.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So are we
what
drinking
we're
this,
also
or-
seeing here, so it's not only that it's worse for our community, but it's also revealing that these are unsafe for any community because we are a marginalized community, LGBTQ, and in that community we meet at the crossroads of many different, other marginalized communities. And so what we're talking here, this is not just for it's not just for the LGBTQ. I mean, what this is revealing is that these colleges are educating a big portion of our society into hate and unacceptance. And this is where you see 50 million people showing up to the polls to vote for Donald Trump.
That's exactly
scary.
right. Absolutely right. All right, let's move on. In a speech supporting Virginia gubernatorial, are you all impressed that I did that
Good
word?
job.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right, thank you.
That
All right,
ties me up.
I just like,
let's start there.
I just like that you're saying goober.
Goober, right. All right. In supporting Virginia gubernatorial, I have to get it in because shortly I'm not going to be able to pronounce words like this. Gubernatorial candidate Terry McAuliffe. Former President Obama discussed how the GOP is using social issues to distract voters, saying, quote, "Are we still arguing about gay marriage? Really?" Question 4. I'd swallow that. I agree with Obama. The GOP is running a culture war against LGBTQ, and it's real.
But it's not new.
It's not new.
But it's not new.
And with a special focus on the trans community.
Yes, Bush.
Right, that's
Bush
what
did
we
it
lead
in
with.
2001, 2002.
Listen, what they're trying to do now, this is what, thanks, Tony. What they're trying to do now is they're trying to, like, you know how they do that, like, you know, smoke and mirrors game, the GOP is all.
Squirrel, look at here.
Yeah, hey, no, we don't even care about the LGBTQ. Are we still talking about gay marriage? Yeah, we are, because you're still attacking it. You know, it's like, that's really where it's coming from. And these guys, aren't they supposed to be indicted for like being a part of the
Aren't they
insurrection?
in prison
Like,
at-
aren't they in
Right?
prison? Yeah, like, I don't understand how they're
you
even
going to
talking.
prison?
Aren't they somebody's bitch by now?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on
What
there?
is?
They should be holding somebody's pocket in the yard. You know what I mean? Like, come
curious,
on.
like in
I
Virginia.
don't. Can you show me how?
Ew, Tom.
I don't get the reference.
Ew.
Ew.
I'm curious.
Watch
We
Oz.
talked about-
Watch Oz. I can't with John today.
We're talking about the gubernatorial in Virginia. Is McAuliffe going to win or is he going to lose?
He's gonna win.
He's gonna lose.
He's going to win.
I think he's
going
gonna
to lose.
Tony?
I think he's going to win. I mean, quite honestly.
I think he's going to win as well.
Oh, please God. If he loses, we're in a situation where it's going to have dramatic effects on the midterms in 2020.
Absolutely.
No.
Dramatic. So let's hope he wins. Let's stay strong. All right. Next up, let's consider the best thing of the week. And I hear it on good accord that we actually have 2 best things of the week. There's so many good things going on this week. First, the best thing of the week is called Halloween in Latin Households. I can't wait. I haven't seen this. Watch this.
No. What did you do?
Mira lo que le hiciste a los pisos. Te dije que no andes trayendo a tus amigos tan cochinos y marranos que hacen puro cochinero aquí.
Ma, no es mi amigo, es un serial killer.
A mí no me importa si come cereales, Freddy Cuco o su abuela en bikini.
Please save me. Now you know how it feels. Run! Run!
I forgot.
Se quemaron los frijoles, ahora te voy a quemar las nalgas. Ay, estos niños nunca aprenden.
Oh my God. Listen, that is a real thing, okay?
That is a real
when
thing.
she pulled that out and you said, oh, it's a shoe, I said, no, that's a chancleta, all right? And those chancletas, they work like boomerangs. They didn't show it exactly. That shit will come back. After hitting you and your brother, it will go back to your mom and she'll catch it with one hand. I mean, that is gangster. That was like how my mom was.
The fear is real.
The fear is real. I'd go to Jason or any of those.
Our bouts with chancletas with our mothers and
Sure.
grandmothers.
Oh my God. I think I have a scar.
Borderline
I might have one too.
Yeah, borderline abuse, but yeah.
Oh, that fear with that crying and like washing the
That was
that
me. Oh my God. I love you, Tony.
You know, when Michael Myers is afraid, you know, it's fun. All right, that's our first thing. But we're going to do a bonus best thing of the week. It's Halloween, of course. And we consider that one of the best things all year is our gay Christmas.
Woo, 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 woo.
Because of that, we are also celebrating one of the best things this week, and that is the many LGBTQ parties that happen across the country for Halloween.
Yes.
Our top picks are Fred and Johnson's Halloweenie in Los Angeles, the NYC Village Parade in, and in New York, Halloween in New Orleans, Palm Springs Halloween, and of course this little tiny thing that we call here in South Florida and Fort Lauderdale called the Wilton Manor.
Yes!
Taking the spotlight on the gayest place on planet Earth, Pride Fort Lauderdale's Halloween extravaganza, we've talked about that.
Yes.
And Save's Halloween Ball. And of course, the massive block party called Wicked Manners.
Oh, yeah.
We're turning back time. What do y'all think about Halloween?
We're back.
I'm going to be exhausted.
Well, you'll get over it. Just drink some coffee. You'll be okay.
I'm
You
like
know?
Red Bulling up 5 hours.
But don't you
Josie
guys?
knows me so well.
Don't you feel like happy? Like we're back. We're back. We get to be around each other. We get to celebrate. This is gay Christmas to us. We love Halloween in our community.
You know, let me take the conversation off track just a moment. Over the weekend, the National LGBTQ Task Force, the biggest gala event of the entire year, held here in South Florida, Miami Beach Convention Center. You know, the number one comment I heard repeatedly was, it was so exciting because we all wanted to be there.
Yes.
And we wanted to be there because we want to celebrate now. We're vaccinated. We're vaccinated. We don't care what Tucker Carlson says. We're vaccinated. And because we're vaccinated, we're getting out there and we're going to have some fun again.
Yeah.
And that's what this weekend represents, Halloween.
Let's party. Let's party.
And maybe this helps also the partying this weekend, but I just heard in the news today that Florida has the lowest amount of COVID infections per capita, and it's so weird because we've been like,
Thank you,
like
Governor
rock stars.
We were the worst, right?
We were the worst, and then now we're the best.
Wait,
you know?
did I
Like,
thank
don't
Governor
even know.
DeSantis? Somebody shoot me.
Do you remember? Do you remember all the names you've called him in the past?
I've called you a lot of names, Governor DeSantis.
Yeah.
We're going to defeat you next year, by the way.
But
I was going to say, that's what we have to say. This has nothing to do with him. This has to do with the rest of us, right? Doing
That's
the
right.
work that we need to do.
That's
yeah,
But-
being safe and
Absolutely.
and you know, like I was saying earlier that I went to a party this past weekend and there was COVID screening and you know everyone having vaccinations coming in. Look, guys, you know we can party responsibly, all right?
Yeah.
And we can do this and we can come and meet in big crowds and we're all adults here. We can take the risk. We can you know make that choice. That's what this is about. We cannot stop living.
Right.
We
We're
have
not
to
gonna
keep
stop
living.
That's right. Get your booster. Now we're saying get your booster. By the way, can I draw a note that why is it that I'm the only one still drinking?
Because I'm an alcoholic that goes to meetings, and you're an alcoholic that doesn't. That is why.
Thank you for that clarification.
Just wanted to remind
There could
you.
be truth to that. All right. Now, let's move on to our segment called What's on Your Mind. I love this segment because I get to hear from these hosts things that I might not be aware of things that are important in our world this week. Each host is going to tell us, however, in just 30 seconds, what is important to them this week. And remember, it's got to be in 30 seconds or you're going to hear that bell. Everybody understand? What's on your mind, Faye? What?
Faye, what? So, you know, I don't trust certain kinds of people, all right? I don't trust skinny...
You talking to me?
No, I'm not talking to you. I don't trust people that don't have any pets. That's just my rule.
Any pets?
I don't
Then
trust
I don't
you,
trust
Al.
you.
But I mainly do not trust people who don't curse. All right? If you don't curse, there is something psychologically wrong with you. You know, it's a way to release. It's therapy. It's actually it's a way to make something more stern and more effective. All right? So for those, and I wonder if those people that don't curse out loud, like I wonder if they curse to themselves, right? And I don't trust you. Curse, okay? Saying beep, 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 beep is okay.
All right. And thank you and fuck you. John, what's on your mind this week?
On my mind this week is gratitude. 1 year ago today, I left a long-time job, 13 years covering entertainment, and to strike out on my own, to be closer to my family. And I'm
The
grateful.
job? I'm curious.
I was an entertainment journalist at one of the local stations down here.
Yeah, and which station?
I was senior producer for Deco Drive
Deco Drive. All
for a
right.
long time.
Right.
But I'm grateful for the support of the people who supported me for the first 25 years of my career, and I'm especially grateful to the people who have supported me this last year when, if it all failed spectacularly, it just would have been a really bad midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone who worked, and
beautiful.
thank you to my new TV family. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Gratitude.
See, I gave him extra time because I really liked what he had to say.
Got it. Figured.
All right.
Figured.
And
The white man thing.
Right?
Hey, did I just hear white privilege?
Total white privilege.
All right, and-
Total
I didn't
white
say nothing
privilege.
about privilege. I just said white man thing. Okay.
And Josie, what's on your mind?
All right. Well,
All right. And Chef Josie, what's on your mind?
no, listen. You know, I'm just really, you know, in the vein of gratitude, I'm continuing to always practice that in my life and just being able to take a moment to pause every single day, take a deep breath and remember everyone in your life who continues to support you, but not only support you, but what you continue to do in your own life to continue to propel yourself forward. This is what is important right now in this moment.
Excellent. Love that. And Tony Lima, first time back in a
very
long
Long.
time. Tony Lima, what's on your mind? No, I won't even say that. What's on your mind this week?
What's on my mind? A lot of things are on my mind this week, but what comes to mind automatically is the thought of how important it is to have your chosen family around you when you're going through difficult things. Like being able to be thankful for those friends, for those people that give you the support and the love when you may not be able to give that love to yourself. So I'm very thankful for the people that I have around me. A lot of them are sitting around this table. At this moment and time in my life, it's a pivotal moment for me as a professional, as a human being, and I'm so excited to be the new executive director of SunServe, and I can't wait to start on Monday. But it takes a lot to get there, so thank you all.
Absolutely. And Tony, on behalf of all of us sitting at this table, SunServe is so incredibly important to our community. It is so critically important to the trans community. As just one example, you're going to do amazing things for the people you serve and amazing things for our community.
Thank you.
Bon voyage. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
All right, next up, let's catch up with the news from the world of entertainment. This year has shown a record number of LGBTQ, anybody know what I'm getting ready to say? Superheroes.
Oh.
They are coming out in the comic books and in television in droves. From Superman's Robin and Loki coming out as bisexual to a transgender Amazonian warrior in the Wonder Woman comics. Our celebrity hot topic of the week is 2021 may be the year of queer becoming superheroes. 12 so far and climbing. What do y'all think about what we're watching in the comics?
I think it's important because it's representation that young people who are still trying to figure it out, like what makes me different? What am I feeling? These are accessible characters to them, written for them, and I think it's in 15 years it will truly pay dividends.
Absolutely. Representation matters. We always talk about that on the show because we're an excellent example of that, right? But I think it's not only for our young people, it's everyone who is a comic connoisseur. It's for that straight 25-year-old who's potentially sitting in the Midwest somewhere, like wondering if gay people really exist. And now they get to see LGBTQ folks reflected in our superheroes, which is so important.
Well, how about the LGBTQ people like me that don't give a crap about comics and thinks that all of you guys are nerds, right? But I would actually go pick up this comic book now because it has a gay character in it.
May I interrupt you just 1 second?
Why you gotta call us nerds?
My roommate, friend, maybe boyfriend, Richard told me today that he had ordered Kal-El #5, which is the son of Superman.
Yeah, cool.
And that he had done it specifically because of the attention that had been drawn to the kiss of the reporter in the comic. And he knew, I had reported it at Queer News Tonight the night before, and he said, do you know that the publication of the comic had been postponed and delayed by 1 week because the demand is so great at DC Comics that they've had to postpone it 1 week because they're in reprint. There has been so many orders of it.
That's awesome.
And I thought exactly that. For Richard to recognize in a very passive way what's going on in LGBT is a victory for all of us.
Absolutely.
Because he represents a awareness that he would never be aware of. And that's not a knock on Richard.
No,
it is a reflection of how important this story is.
It's really important too, just to add, it's how that the media and the comic industry recognize how important it is to add these characters to their stories, because they are also a source for folks to like figure it out. You know, not just TVs and the big screen, but it's also the comic books, it's our newspapers, and like seeing these characters. I mean, that is huge.
It is.
I know.
That is huge.
It is, absolutely.
Because that's like all those big guys, those big oil guys in Texas who have their sons and they think they're like bringing them up to their football players, and then one day they come out and they say, I'm gay. Well, guess what? Superman's son might be too.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, another example of that is look Loki at Apple Plus, and we've watched Loki in so many of the Thor and Avenger movies. And Loki in the Apple Plus series comes out as gender fluid. It's very clear of him talking about the fluidity of his gender. And that is super important because the number one characteristic of Loki is his sense of humor. He makes jokes about everything. How many LGBT in whatever way have watched Loki and go, that's what I do to defend myself.
Right.
Yeah.
In my schools, in my church,
Yep.
in my family, I make jokes and use humor to defend myself. Wait, Loki's doing the exact same thing, and he's gender fluid, bisexual, and however you want to define it. And that gives me permission to do the exact same thing through my sense of humor. That saves lives.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
It saves lives.
Don't you
that's
guys
the
wish
first
that? Don't you guys wish that they had this when we were kids?
Oh,
Yes.
God.
My God.
Life
The-
changing.
God,
Absolutely.
incredibly life.
But that diversity you speak of, Al, is really important. We're not just talking about having a gay character or a lesbian character who are probably the most safe bets, right? Especially on mass media. We're talking about showing like the diversity in gender identity, the fluidity, sexuality, different expressions. Like this is a really important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great news, and I hope you continue to follow it. And if you're one of those people that say, like when we posted on Kal-El number 5, many of the comments to me were, well, it's not Superman. It's a sun. What difference does
It's the
that
same
make?
thing, yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's the important issue here, and pay attention to the big picture, not the small picture. It's big news. Well, that's our discussion on entertainment. And next, we report that Happening Out Television Network helps support our LGBTQ community. An example is here at Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. We are broadcasting from our permanent set in the Sunshine Studios, supporting that partnership. The network broadcasts the largest LGBTQ religious broadcast in the world. Remember, representation matters. And watching that broadcast of Sundays with more than 30,000 watching every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, and it's totally live, a totally live broadcast. We encourage you to tune in, and our campaign of sponsorship proudly supports Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Dean Trantalis, the mayor of the city of Fort Lauderdale. They say the gayest place on planet Earth, and Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church.
Well, up next, if we were standing around the LGBTQ water cooler, this is what we think we would all be talking about this week. We refer to it as the hot topic of the week, and it's Dave Chappelle. In a recent video, Dave Chappelle discusses the ongoing controversy over the recent Netflix special. He made a statement. We're going to show you a portion of it. Watch this.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say. For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. To the transgender community, I am more than willing to give you an audience, but you will not summon me. I am not bending to anybody's demands. And if you want to meet with me, I'd be more than willing to, but I have some conditions. First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. I want everyone to...
Well, tonight, let's discuss Dave Chappelle's new response to the backlash over Netflix comedy special, The Closer. We've talked about this a lot, but it continues to be so important in our community. What do y'all think?
Well, I think a couple weeks ago, like you said, we've been discussing this for a while, and you and I sat next to each other, and we were discussing, could he be someone that we, or at least I was that we've watched forever? Is it someone that we could bring in and, you know, sort of educate? But the more I watch him, the more I see him contradict himself, and he's getting scared now because this video, you can tell he's losing control of the narrative, and he's trying to get it back. I just think that I've gone from really not wanting this to be a big thing because I want him to control. I'm done with him at this point. The more he speaks, the less I really even want to hear from him because he's controlling he's trying to control the narrative that he's lost control of.
Well, you guys know that the special was going to be shown at a bunch of film festivals, right? They had a tour for it, and every single last film festival has uninvited him now, and it's all backlash because of this. They're saying,
yeah, and.
And I want to hear from you too, Chef Josie. But I'm curious, do you accept the observations that he made? This was an Instagram post that he shared, that he did at a recent event. Do you accept what he says?
You know, I've been a big fan of Chappelle forever, man, all the way since Half Baked, okay? And it's one of those things that, like, I admire him as a comedian. I did some stand-up myself. I mean, he's a genius. He really is, and he has a huge following, and it's not just blacks, it's everybody that he, you know, and also he would make fun of everyone, you know, the same as well. So I think I kind of believe him when he says, hey, this is not me. These are the higher ups. These are other people that are making this into a thing that it doesn't have to be, you know? So he's kind of got me believing him. Yeah. And that is my honest truth.
Listening now.
I'm kind of listening.
Yeah.
Where before I was like, you're going against my community, screw you, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and I saw the special.
Yeah, I hear you. Josie?
So when I heard about it, I was just like, WTF, right? And of course I went because I have access to Netflix, and I went and watched the special. And if you watch that special, people, like, you're gonna hear all of it in its entirety. There's a part in it, and I'm gonna ruin it for you right now because I don't even care, because if we're still having this conversation, it's because you have not watched it, okay? But he talks about his friend who was transgendered, and it's another fellow comedian, and who he respected and loved like family, and that person ends up in the end of his joke committing suicide when everyone thought that he was going to take him down this road. But what that story was about one of the tweets that when everyone came out and attacked him, he said, Chappelle said that his friend tweeted one of the kindest tweets he had ever heard, and it said that Chappelle doesn't hit high, he doesn't hit low, he just hits punchlines, and that's what he's doing. And when we start to control his narrative, his expression as a comedian, his perspective, that is where we start stepping into, I think, a zone which is not for us to step into. Comedians have that, like, in all the history of my 46 years, comedians have had the right to talk about things that make us feel uncomfortable, that make us laugh, that make us cry, that make us cringe. And I'm not gonna lie, he has made me cringe sometimes, okay? But then he comes back at the end, and I listen to the whole, I don't take him out of context, right? And I don't really think, unless I like find something about Dave Chappelle, like in a personal, you know, some personal information that maybe you're more privy to since you've been on Deco Drive.
Would it be okay for him to misgender somebody? Would that be okay to you?
No, it's not okay. It's not
Because he
okay
did
for,
that.
but it's not okay. It's not okay to misgender, but if someone misgenders, it's also not something that we take outside and shoot them, and it's not something that we take people and cancel them, and we can't continue down the path of cancel culture. Like, that does not work. And let's be honest. No, I'm gonna choose to zip it right now.
Say it, Josie. Say it,
because
Josie. Oh.
I'm gonna say this because he speaks truth. When Dave Chappelle left the scene, okay, for a long time he left the scene.
Cost him $50 million.
Cost him $50 million, but he did that because he was not going to be a puppet for someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it costs us money to make the choice to be yourself.
To walk away, yeah.
And I respect him for being himself, for being a brilliant comedian, and he is the one making the choices to say what he says. So whatever he has to deal with, I'm pretty certain that he's already factored that in.
I agree with everything that you're saying. I totally understand that, but I also feel like he has a responsibility as a public figure to get the facts straight, to educate himself, to evolve like we've all had to evolve in one way, shape, or form, right?
He's open to that.
I think it would be great if he would ally with maybe the folks from GLAAD, the folks from the task force, from HRC, whoever the case may be.
Yeah.
Right? He can come to SunServe.
Let's get that. Let's get on that.
There is the possibility of what we've watched over the last month in evolution for him. Do you think, or would you expect that that'll be one of the things that this comes to, that he will evolve to that?
I think he's not going to have a choice. I think eventually he's going to be canceled completely. He's going to have to pay another $50 million and God knows what else, because he's not thinking of the people that are potentially listening to him. He's just considering his original point of view, which I respect and I understand. But when you're at this level and you have this kind of platform, you have to be absolutely responsible. You can't hurt people in the process.
Is your contention here that he's not being responsible? He's expressing his opinion in the special. He makes jokes about everyone. There's no stone unturned in terms of who he attacks, quote unquote. Do you think he's not feeling like he's responsible for his attacks? Is that your point?
I think that he's not taking the time to educate himself to maybe share a point of view that doesn't hurt a bunch of people.
But he said right or wrong.
Yeah.
And of course, I agree that I don't agree with him, is the point I want to make. But he is very clear. From his perspective, unless somebody educates him out of it, his perspective is gender is born and you're male or female. He makes that completely clear. Then he says, that is why I support the Harry Potter writer, because that's what she has said. And let's not blend lots and lots of gobbledygook, because that's what she's saying. And people have stolen away that narrative, but that's her position, which I agree with. And then he makes the very harsh joke of, that's why I'm Team Turf. Right. So it's not a question of him being uneducated, it's just he doesn't agree. You're male or you're female.
And I think that in that conversation, I think that he's open to sitting at the table. But like he said, I'm not going to be summoned. He's a black man, okay? He's a black man that lost $50 million. And look, I'm not here to tell Dave Chappelle's story, okay? But he has his own experience of life, right? So he shows up to the table and he's like, look, guys, look, I have nothing against the LGBTQ community. I never have, okay? And, who wants to sit down? But we're going to do it on my terms, because clearly you guys want to just attack me. Would you go to a lynching? I wouldn't.
No.
Oh, I wouldn't show up to a lynching. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, we have to think about how we want to bring people to the light. You know what I'm saying? We got to talk, and we got to be willing to like negotiate those terms. It's not only on our terms sometimes, because if we really value Dave Chappelle and we value his opinion and his work and all of those things, and we actually even believe that he has the ability to understand the plight, the struggle, the challenge, right? Which I do believe, okay? Then we have to be willing to negotiate the terms and meet him there, because that is something that is missing in our community, is meeting people where they're at. We cannot put our expectations on other people and expect them to understand what we're thinking, what we've learned, what we've experienced. It is important, it's imperative that our community learns how to meet people where they are instead of attacking. Look, if you try to attack me, I wouldn't show up to your party, okay? Period. That's not Dave Chappelle. That's human, guys. That's human.
Preach, Josie, preach.
You know, it's interesting to me, because I'm very conflicted on this subject. We've talked about Chappelle in so many instances. I've tried to toe, at least for the conversations at Queer News Tonight, what's going on with Chappelle. I just interviewed in this last week Tori Cooper, who is basically the top voice for trans at HRC. I did not ask Tori Cooper about Dave Chappelle. It wasn't really critically interesting to me. I very much imagine that Tori Cooper would have very negative observations about Dave Chappelle. However, I seed in an observation that she has about the LGBT community. Tori Cooper is very clear, the White House's first trans representative ever, and the top voice at the HRC. And Tori Cooper, I'm not putting words in her mouth, but I'm summarizing from my understanding the words that came from Tori Cooper. Tori Cooper talks about representation in the community, and I point out the dramatic conflict that it seems to me of seeing all of the progress we have seen in 21 for LGB, but contrast that with all of the negative advancement on T. And it must be very hurtful for you to see our success and what you see in southern states, for example. She goes, absolutely true. She has a beautiful answer of that, and I encourage you to watch that interview. Then she says something that makes me question, as a second and follow-up questions of going, wait, if I'm hearing you correct, you're not broadly judging the entire community, you're starting with our own community. And so I plainly asked Tori Cooper, does the L and the G and the B and the Q of our community support the T of our community? And her answer in soundbite is not no, or it should improve, never.
Oh my God, that hurts.
Never. Now, it just seems to me that if we're in that situation, we can take at least a moment to say, how is that different than Dave Chappelle? Tori Cooper is suggesting that we should do dramatically better on trans issues, trans understanding, and trans rights, just like the broad community that Dave Chappelle represents. We're going to cancel? No. I think we should talk about it. And even in our talking about it, the cancer culture is real. And that's not the right approach. It just doesn't seem to me to be the right approach. And that's why this story is so important. Dave Chappelle's genius penetrates all the noise. Unlike a Tucker Carlson or Laura Ingraham that bashes and bashes and bashes, he does it in a way of going, stop and think about what is happening, even if we hate the words. I hate the words. I hate everything you just said. But we better talk about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Absolutely.
I've been trying to find a way to process. Tori Cooper brought me to a complete stop. Thank you very much, Tori Cooper. You were amazing. Amazing. All right, let's continue and explore our LGBTQ plus world this week with some silly things now, and also some important headlines in the LGBTQ news this week. It's a lightning round. Let's discuss them in our segment we called Saved by the Bell. As everyone knows in the world, I love this segment because I get to do that to Faye, which she hates very, very much, called Saved by the Bell. And remember, the twist is we're going to discuss each of these headlines, but for only 1 minute. So if anybody consumes all 60 seconds, whoop, it's over, because you're going to hear that bell and we're going to move on at the end of the minute. Everybody understand what we're going to do?
Ready.
Yes.
All right, here we go. First up, this weekend, the National LGBTQ Plus Task Force held the biggest fundraising event of the year. Saved by the Bell, headline number 1. The National LGBTQ Task Force launches a spectacular gala in the gayest place on planet Earth and is likely the biggest LGBTQ event of 2021. What'd y'all think of Task Force? Faye hosted the red carpet.
It was beautiful to see 700 LGBTQ plus people all together, all dressed up. And you know, we're fabulous, so we look very pretty when we're all dressed up. But it was just a lot of fun. Like, it was, you know, all these advocates for our community there in one place. And everybody's reaction was, I'm so glad we're back. I'm so glad that we get to feel each other's energy and love on each other, you know. The meal was fantastic, by the way. And I still have marks from the 3 Spanx that I had to wear to get into that red dress that's on your screen, folks.
Fabulous.
Esa faja duele.
That
Woo.
picture you're watching right now, Kira Johnson, the new executive director of the National Task Force in the middle.
Yeah.
She was amazing.
Fabulous.
And I told a great joke, by the way. Faye said it wasn't so good. I asked the national director of the LGBTQ Task Force, I'm a news guy, I'm hearing this rumor that all of your staff got together on Monday at Denny's and planned this gala out. Is that
And
true?
I'm like, Al, no le digas eso. What's wrong with you? Like, these people have been like, oh my God, blood, sweat, and tears for this task force. And this guy's like, oh, you just did this on a napkin at Denny's, right? I'm like, que pena, you know? Like,
Kira Johnson looked at
Can't
me like
take her
I had 3
anywhere.
Exactly right. All right, let's move on. Even though China has recently been restricting LGBTQ plus content on television, the new show Boyscation is giving us the gay reality show we've all been craving. Saved by the Bell, headline number 2. Hong Kong gets its first gay dating television show. And look at some of this.
that's super cute, but gay boys don't date. They just... It should be like the first Grindr television show in Hong Kong.
It's gonna be.
Algo así, but like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's like,
We
you guys
don't
don't
date.
date.
Everybody's going to be hooking up on this show.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, then it should
Now
be a
you're
lot of
feeding
fun
into
then.
what-
I was right. I was right.
There's stereotypes, and you go, oh yeah, here's the truth.
But let me tell you something. There's a lot of money in Hong Kong, so this show should be fabulous.
Some of the boys. Look at that boy.
The swimming instructor
We're
was my
gonna
favorite.
we're gonna see the follow-up movie. It's gonna be called Rich Gay Asian.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
Tell me how you feel about the Asian boys in Hong Kong.
You know what I keep on thinking about is Squid Game on Netflix.
Oh,
That's what I'm seeing all of this, and yes, Hong Kong, you know, somewhere in Korea.
Yeah.
No real connection there, but that's what I keep on thinking about because I am fascinated
is it
by
so
the
good?
cast on Squid Game. They're stunning.
Yeah.
So
move this show to Havana, and I have a complete ball. All right. When an anti-vaxxer shared a picture of a sign that said "mandate," as in vaccine, mandate. That sounds gay to me. Kathy Griffin was quick to reply. Saved by the Bell, headline number 3. Kathy's perfect clap back to anti-vaxxer who says mandate sounds it's gay.
I can't believe that Mandate is not already an app. I went on and looked. It is not.
No.
It is a website.
And it is one word.
It is a website. It's one word, but it is for hooking up. But I kind of surveyed the profiles, and much like myself, it doesn't get used very much.
Oh.
As an anti-vaxxer sounds gay to me. First off, isn't that a stupid slur? Mandate. That's
Again,
mandate.
The guy's an idiot. I mean, think about it. The guy's an idiot.
Oh God! But this, where was this? Where did this
what I
take
was gonna
place?
Yeah, in stupidly.
And stupid.
Oh, wait, let me identify it. It was somewhere deep in the heart of Texas.
Oh,
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Although that does look like California mountains in the
Right.
back.
No.
Okay, all right. A group of high schoolers recently handed out a survey asking if people wanted queers to be able to use the same bathroom as quote unquote normal people.
Oh my God.
Saved by the Bell, headline number 4. A high school group that they call themselves the Anti-Queer Society launches a survey to prevent queers using the bathroom with normal people.
Hey, listen, freedom of speech, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, these young kids, they are
hateful.
yeah,
It's hateful.
they're choosing their path. But I am going to send out an invitation to these young people: be careful.
Yeah.
because the kids at that school are tech savvy. They're going to figure out who was putting out this petition or
Well, they
questionnaire.
already found out. They already found out who it was, took it down, and they were all punished for
They
it.
were punished.
Wait, but their names weren't released though. But I'm saying their students will find out and put them on blast.
How would you like to be a member of the Anti-Queer Association? It's 25 years in the future.
And listen, from a legal standpoint, this borderlines hate speech. So, like, if these kids were smart and savvy, they'd recognize that, and they clearly don't have very smart parents either. So, you know, then we're taking digs at both.
You just said something that's what's jumping out at me is that this looks like a form put together by a stupid adult, right? Like this doesn't look like something that young people would have put together in some capacity.
Imagine it's 1959 and someone in your high school publishes out from the
his high school
Association.
Oh my God.
What's the difference?
No,
Really?
there is no difference.
No, I'm sorry.
It's just as hateful.
Association and people cannot use the bathroom.
And just look at that
as
bottom
normal
line.
people.
I don't want queer kids to go to the bathroom with us normal people.
Right, that's-
What
We
is
are
that
normal.
hate?
Yeah,
That's
that
awful.
is hate, right. All right. Putin. Speaking of crazy,
Let the good times roll.
Here we go. Let's go.
doubles down on his anti-trans rhetoric this week in a recent video. Saved by the Bell, headline number 5. Russia's Putin describes transgender rights as crimes against humanity.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, if anyone knows crimes against humanity, it would be Vladimir Putin.
Look behind him and see if Donald Trump's hand is not up his butt or something. Like, it sounds like something Trump would totally say.
Or his left hand, we can't see, is up Trump's.
Right.
Yeah.
And Bolsonaro's in there somewhere also.
No, but guys, let's
Now it's a
let's
second
not
relay.
lose let's not lose sight of the fact that this right here. Now, this is something we really need to be paying attention to. When the leader of Russia comes out and describes transgender rights as a crime against humanity, then what that is a signal, it's a call out to everyone in Russia that anyone transgender, bring them. And then what we're going to see is things that are happening in, like, say, you know, the Middle East, where they're taking you know, homosexuals,
Africa.
okay, or Africa,
Ghana,
and
where
bringing
we're gonna
them
kill
in.
you.
Yeah, or we're bringing them into the middle of the village and burning them to, you know, burning them alive. Like this right here. Listen.
There was an incredible op-ed, to your point, just to prove you've hit the bullseye. There was a beautiful op-ed this week that said this call to action could be 1938 in Nazi Germany for Jews. It could be exactly the same thing. Being Jewish is a crime against Jewish German humanity. And what are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to put them in camps. And then from that, we're going to exterminate them. That's what this is doing. You, I think, hit the bullseye. When Hungary passed an anti-LGBTQ plus law, one company decided to keep their award show there in order, to fight for equality. Saved by the Bell, headline number 6. MTV's awards stay in Hungary to support the LGBTQ plus community. The EMAs, the European Music Association.
That's so beautiful of them to do, but I'm trying to figure out, like, what's the... I'm sorry, I'm a shady bitch like that. I'm like, okay, what are you getting out of it? Like, why, you know, doesn't it make life much harder having the awards in Hungary and having to deal with all that anti-LGBTQ everywhere?
Interesting. This probably is not a self-serving issue because they're going to broadcast the EMAs live in Hungary, promoting LGBT left and right against the law. They're absolutely going to become illegal when they broadcast this. They wouldn't do that if they didn't go, wait, this is more important, so we're going to do it.
Yeah, I think it's quite revolutionary, right? This is like activism at its best, and using mass media for this kind of activism is brilliant.
Yeah, and they're challenging the ignorance of the organizations that are creating free zones like in Poland and what they're doing in Hungary to say, okay, try to take us on the air. or take us off the air. Let's see what you can do. Because otherwise, we're going to smash this right in your face. That's what the EMAs are going to do.
And let's not forget, MTV, they did bring the music video to the TV, okay, guys? And they are at the heart of MTV is their rock and roll, man. And so this is a part of their culture. They have to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, and what a great place to make a stand.
I think MTV is just chomping at the bit for Hungary to respond to them. I think they're chomping at the bit. So finally tonight, let's move out of our headlines. We're the LGBTQ community, and that means we talk about something a lot.
Sex, lots of it.
Is sex
mucho
and
sex.
Occasionally relationships.
Eh.
More sex. Let's play another game. Our game asks you, who would you do and what would you do with them for 3 different interesting people. And tonight is our game that we played right from the beginning, although in a slightly different name, Shag, Marry, Chop. Our theme tonight, it's Halloween. It's our last show before Halloween, so let's play with Shag, Marry, Chop and classic movie monsters. Let's see if we can find some sexy. Oh, I've already found one. So this week we are going to play with Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, and the Wolfman, and maybe the characteristics of the 3 and what they represent. So let's play Shag, Marry, Chop. Faye?
Yes.
Who's your shag?
Okay, so I'm gonna shag the Wolfman because I like them hairy that way. So yes, I do. Those 4 months out of my whole entire life that I dated men, hairy. Yes.
How about in girls? Do you like hairy girls?
No.
Okay.
And yuck. Okay.
And who's
All right.
marrying?
So I'm gonna marry Dracula. Yeah, I want him to take a bite out of me. Yes.
that is?
No
Bela
idea.
Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi. The oldest man at the table knew that.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so my name is Faye Lugosi. I think it sounds cute.
Lugosi.
Faye what
Yeah,
Lugosi?
that works.
Right? It does work.
Frankenstein, why are you shagging him?
I don't like guys that are taller than me.
Really?
What? That's it. Do I need to have another reason? He's way taller than me. I like guys that are my height. He's way tall.
Wow, okay, all right. And John, who are you shagging?
I'm shagging Frankenstein's monster because I've heard good things about Frankenstein's monster. I'm going to...
Child, you've just branded
Could be a
yourself
rumor.
Like,
I just want to make sure
my
you
God.
branded yourself into something.
I would hope so.
Wow. Okay.
Get it, John.
There
Get
we
it.
are. There's confidence.
Marrying Dracula because he's going to live forever and then he'll bite me and then we'll just live literally happily forever after.
That is so ingenious. I would have never made that connection. Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to chop Wolfman just because I don't make enough money to afford the razor blades.
No.
All right. And Chef Josie, who are you shagging?
Okay, so I'm totally shagging the Wolfman, and I hope that we howl at the moon and all that fun stuff and like do it, you know.
He's the animal of the group.
Yeah, I mean, obviously
Yeah,
for
I
the
was
one.
gonna say.
Okay.
I just wanted to passively
I was like-
put in there Josie as the animal.
I was
in
like,
the group.
corn treatment, 24 hours, we got it, done.
And wait, in case you're misunderstanding the innuendo here, poor Wolfman. I knew he was married.
I'm gonna marry Dracula for the same reasons that John wants to,
You wanna
because
live
he'll bite me
forever.
and we'll live
And me
forever
too.
and be fabulous and be super rich and like cultured and like learn everything I ever wanted to learn and have the time to do it, and we don't even have to. You know, it's like perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect.
All right.
And unfortunately, Frankenstein, you move a little too slow for me. We would have a problem.
Oh, I could tell you so many stories. And Tony, who are you shagging?
The Latinos are totally connected at this table.
Yeah.
So I'm absolutely going to shag the Wolfman because as a bear, if you'll remember, I was like
yeah.
the number one bear,
number one.
Hotspots magazine.
No,
in
wait,
April.
let's pause a moment.
Oh,
Lost all this weight.
Yep.
He's
I have
looking
the
so
last 30
good that he
pounds.
looks, but he constantly, at every opportunity goes, you know, Hotspots selected me.
The number one bear.
Number one
The
bear.
number one bear.
Not the number 3 bear, the
The
number 1 bear.
Yes,
What?
there were 6 of us.
Dude, that
So
was
listen.
in 1954.
That was last
Al,
year.
It was last year. The bear that lives within. Let's go with that. Is very attracted to hairy, sexy men like my sister Faye. So I'm
not a hairy, sexy man.
No, you like.
You. Oh yeah, yeah, that. Yeah.
I mean, you're a man.
I was there with you.
I'm keeping the first answer, by the way. I'm keeping the first
That was good. That was good.
You haven't been to Havana, have you?
No. Yes, many years ago. I was a child.
Well, so you haven't been to Havana,
No,
have you?
yes, I haven't.
Okay,
No.
all right.
No, so I'm going to chop Frankenstein just because of the same reason.
See,
He's
this-
slow. Like I want passion, I want excitement, I want romance, and it doesn't seem like that's going to happen with him.
Wait, and do you do it that way with the guy?
Like this, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And their libido immediately goes away. Wait.
No, there's like a sexy dance along with it, Al Ferguson.
Wait.
Let me tell you, it's
That's
totally
okay,
sexy.
Al. It's okay.
Let it go, Al. Let it go.
Dracula, I would absolutely marry. As the oldest guy at the table, as you said, not really true. America, not really true.
Yeah.
Bela Lugosi, I've been fascinated with since I was a child.
Yeah.
There's an old Bauhaus song called Bela Lugosi's Dead, if you'll remember.
Oh, of course.
That's still one of my favorite songs of all time, and I just think of this sexy man just doing his thing and sucking on necks and everything, and it makes me very excited.
Well, could you define everything for me?
No.
No. And we welcome Tony back. He's been in Colombia. He's gotten this new appointment as executive director at SunServe. He remembers all of our product branding, and thank you for playing Shag, Chop, Mary. It's been
Whatever,
really
it's the same
great for
thing.
you tonight.
By the hierarchy of my needs. That's what
Wow.
You saved yourself. Very good. That's what we do for Halloween, and make sure everyone have a great Halloween. It's our gay Christmas. Celebrate our greatest holiday. All right, before we end the show, we introduce you to our sponsor, Jet's Pizza. If you're coming to South Florida and you must try, there's the right word.
The pizza's so good it got me out of frame. You saw that?
The pizza choice. Wait, are you trying to distract from my voice? Yes, apparently you are.
All the time.
Right, Jet's Pizza. We are getting ready to enjoy it right here at the table here at It's Happening Out. Well, that's it, South Florida. Another week with you and the world's first and most popular LGBTQ talk show in the world. Before we sign off, let's hear from our host for one final good night. And a good night begins from Faye What?
Faye What? So another great Wednesday. I love being around the table with you guys. So if you haven't heard, the new Faye What show will be on the It's Happening Out network. We will have more details for that coming up. Yay! And also tomorrow is my wedding anniversary, so I really wanted to say happy anniversary to my beautiful wife Teresa. You made an honest woman out of me. Because of you, I am a better person. You've shown me empathy beyond. You've been with this crazy ass girl, and you turned her from a slut to a housewife. I don't know how you did it, but it must be that Cuban. Beep! I love you. I love you.
That's so funny. And to Faye What, November 9th, Faye What comes to Happening Out. And let me do my best, Bianca Del Rio, about you coming to Happening Out on November 9th. Yay.
I can't wait. Yeah. You're stuck with me.
Yeah. And John Hayden, a good night from you.
It was a great night being here, but it's the start of what's going to be a really great weekend. Halloween is back. I think we appreciate it more this year because we didn't get to have it last year. It's an all-weekend event throughout South Florida, and get your Z-Packs now.
Oh, that's funny. Did you say shit?
Wow.
Good night. First time in a long time. Welcome back, sir. Tony.
Thank you. So happy to be here with all of you, sharing this time, having a laugh, talking about really important topics for our community. I'm very excited to be starting at SunServe on a Monday. Look out for wonderful things happening there. Please continue to watch Translation. It really is a groundbreaking show. We're doing it monthly right now with a spectacular all-trans cast. So make sure to watch. And I'll see you Friday night at Pride Fort Lauderdale's Halloween Extravaganza, hosted by Faye What?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we wish you all of the luck. Let the host here at It's Happening Out really give you the first official public welcome to SunServe. We have talked in the last year and a half Faye got, Josie got COVID and was isolated for 40 days. We went through the bizarre stuff that we went through. We lost a host. We have reported on COVID every single Queer News since January 6, 2020. And one of the things that we've reported on more than the stupidity of Donald Trump or even on COVID-19 itself was how adversely affected the LGBTQ community has been in the last year and a half. That's why we're excited. That's why we were excited at the task force, and that's why we're excited that it is Halloween. So we wish you all of the luck, because no one has been hurt and harmed more than our vital 501c3s that serve our community. And SunServe is absolutely at the top of that list here in South Florida. You're going to do a great job for all of us.
Thank you, Al.
And a good night from Chef Josie.
Hey guys, as you know, I'm always here for you, but more importantly, I can't wait to serve up some delicious spooky beats on Friday night at Dakota for the Pride Halloween, Pride Fort Lauderdale Halloween extravaganza.
I love that that's what we're saying.
Yes, I love it. I love it. It made me like use that word again. And so I love it. And also don't forget, follow Bubbles and Pearls on all your social media accounts so you can find out. We have like a great new vegan menu that's coming out. Oh my God. Stone crabs are in season, so we have like the jumbo of the jumbo. And also on November 1st, we're going to be introducing our Yappy Hour, which is going to be for all of our dogs. So we have all these like value menus for all of our dogs, our pets, because I'm a big pet person, So let's bring out the puppies and let's have fun at Bubbles and Pearls. And again, just follow at Chef Josie to know what I'm doing, because I do a lot. And I'm just so happy to be here tonight with all of you guys. So thank you.
Yeah, excellent. And is what you watched tonight important to you? You sat right here at the proverbial LGBTQ kitchen table, right along with all of us to discuss the LGBTQ life of the world. I challenge you, and I continue to challenge you, and everybody that talks to me about what we do at It's Happening Out and Queer News Tonight, where do you see the kind of breadth of conversation that we had? We've drank shots, Faye got drunk.
I did not. My sponsor watches, okay? Please don't say that.
All right, you didn't get drunk. Josie got drunk. And we talk about big issues like Dave Chappelle. We talk about ridiculous things. We talk about entertainment. We talk about our community. And I challenge everyone, every single week, where are you hearing these kind of conversations in motion and sound? It's Happening Out is very important for that. We're celebrating our 3rd anniversary. Somebody brought to my attention that in the last 12 months, we have done, are you ready for this? More than 3,000 stories in the last year.
Wow.
3,000 stories on South Florida, on the nation, and the world. Where in the world can you see that in motion and sound? We're very proud of what we're doing here. And the one thing that we ask you to do is to tell your friends, because this is the only place in the world that does it. And we will be here every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. live and continuing to do it. Don't forget, Queer News Tonight is daily at 8 p.m. Hotspots Magazine is found throughout Florida. And remember, if it's important to you, it's happening out. Good night, South Florida.
Bye.